Hi, I'm Jamie Johnson, and I have been part of the Racine Theatre Guild since 2002, which was before this one was even born. So he has virtually grown up at the Theatre Guild. And it has been so much fun watching him join me and take part in shows and classes and enjoy the theater all on his own.
Hi, I'm Ben, and I've been part of the Theatre Guild since 2017, and I've been growing with classes and different shows and doing different kinds of shows and musicals, and it's been really fun.
I always credit Jeff Greeley. I met him through work and saw that he had a Wizard of Oz mug on his desk. And so I asked him about it. We started talking about theater, and he said, "Oh, you should audition at the Racine Theatre Guild." And that's how I first heard about it. And that was in 2001. And he had suggested I audition for Annie. That was the outreach musical that year. And I was too nervous. Auditions were that day or something. It was so close, and I chickened out. So it took me until the next year, and decided I wanted to do it, go ahead and audition for a musical. And I convinced Joe Vigneri to come with me because, again, I was still too scared to do it. And he did, and we both got cast, and the rest is history. When Ben was very little and I was still doing shows, and the Pack he plays and some of the child appropriate shows, we would have him come. He was scared to death. He wouldn't come into the theater. He'd cry when we pulled into the parking lot. He'd scream in the lobby. And I think it was Seussical. The first year we did Seussical, he sat the whole time in the lobby with Doug. I don't know if he was counting tickets or sorting rib. I don't know what he was doing, but he sat in the concession stand with Doug the whole time because he would not come in the theater. And we have to credit Cara with getting Ben to come in the theater because he, I think I was a PSM for I Do, which she was directing. And he was 5 years old, and he came to the theater to a rehearsal with me. And she convinced him that 5 years old was the perfect time to start going to the theater. And from that day on, he, I think, just decided he was comfortable.
Because there's very few shows that I do by myself, but there's very few times that I get to do one with my mom and cherish the moment, because there's usually sometimes she doesn't want to audition, but I do, and then I'm usually all on my own. A lot of roles. I played the barrister and more of the ensemble, so Jitterbug, Winky, and I was a Munchkin, and there was a whole bunch of roles that I had to adapt to. There's different character personalities, and there's different ways you have to dance. Some are mostly singing, but there's others that you have to, put forth more dancing into. And I think it was really fun with the experience of just learning multiple roles and just putting it all together.
I played the Wicked Witch of the West, which was pretty exciting. It was the first musical I had been in where I didn't sing, which I actually enjoyed. I mean, I love to sing, but it was a completely different approach to everything. So I had to focus on different things. Becoming green, which was a big deal. And the voice, I actually had to learn to speak a little bit differently to protect my voice. So that was something different about Wizard of Oz. That one was truly, truly magical. It's a classic story that we all were excited to tell, but it came together so well. Everything about it was great. The music, the set, the people, the cast, everything about it just clicked. I love seeing the impact that theater and the arts have on my own kids. And knowing that, and even before I had kids, I could see it happening, especially with the outreach shows. But it is very special because you're making that connection with the young people and introducing something to them that will impact their lives. Whether they become involved with it, more themselves afterwards or not, my kids did, and I can see it has made them better speakers, it has made them better communicators, it has made them better listeners, and it teaches them so many things. So knowing that we can bring that into a young person's life, that's a great feeling.
I mean, some kids, they don't really get to experience that kind of thing regularly because their parents don't usually bring them to a theater like that. And I think some of them, I know from different schools, have, enjoyed it so much that they've done classes and different shows, and, they come from schools all around Racine. And one year, my school actually came to it. It was the first production of Mary Poppins. And I know my class enjoyed it. I think doing the same show again because I loved it the first time, and I know that I can audition for it the second time and I'll have the same experience, but there might be new people that make new friends with, and just the experience once me to come back and do it again and, you know, have the same friendship and, you know, the magical part about it.
I'm looking forward to the chance to do a show with Ben again. I think those are always, you know, creating more moments that we'll remember years from now. My youngest is talking about auditioning, so Jacob wants to be a part of it this year, so he's talking about that. So I would really look forward to that. That would be the first time all three of us would have the opportunity to be on stage at once. So I think that would be pretty fun. We know how much we want to get back to it. We know how much it will mean. I think it's going to feel even more exaggerated, more emphasized because it is such a special place to everyone. And it is like you're missing some of your family members because you're so used to spending so much time with these people, especially when you're involved in a show, that not having that for so long, you go through some withdrawal. And I think it really will mean a lot because for those of us that are there, we know that it's those connections that really bring meaning both to our lives and helps us tell those stories better and bring that meaning to other people's lives and to our communities.
Obviously, you know, just the relationship between, you know, the two of us, it's the connection that, you know, we get to share at Theatre Guild, and it's really special.
Am I as mean as the Wicked Witch?
I don't know.
You're thinking too hard.